Hey guys, welcome to, welcome back to Growing Pains podcast. I wore this hat for y'all. It's called World's Best Plant Parent. So yeah, so right now I'm filming in a photo booth on my computer because that's the closest thing we're gonna get to video right now. I'm working on getting some Bluetooth mics to film on my phone soon and hopefully have a guest. I'm so excited for that. I'm hoping that this mic is okay enough for y'all. I took some test clips and it wasn't great. But you know what? If you truly are a fan of the Growing Pains podcast, you'll be willing to make some sacrifices, or like turning up your volume on your phone. Okay, so first off, I just want to thank y'all for y'all's support on the first episode, because I literally got 25 listens within the first, sorry, this chair is so squeaky. I got 25 listens within the first 24 hours, which is kind of insane to me. Yeah. So, thank y'all for that. That was so nice of y'all. I think here's a little challenge for y'all. For me to be able to monetize my podcast, I would have to get to 1,000 listeners on one episode. So, if you can do 25 listeners on the first episode, let's try to share the podcast and get it up to, let's say, 40 listeners on the second episode. Do you think y'all can do that? I have a Instagram. I'll put that in the description. Yeah, if y'all want to share it on the Insta, we can grow our podcast through that. So yeah. Thinking of starting a TikTok once I start getting guests so that I can kind of debut them on the potty. I mean, the podcast. Okay. So today's topic, you probably already know because it's on the title of the episode. Knowing your calling. So, the ways I have found my calling were not always the correct way, quote unquote, the correct way. I mean, I feel like there isn't an actual law correct way to find your calling, I guess, but ways I've my calling has been revealed to me is, or let me just list some of my callings that I have found, actually. So my calling in high school to me was to perform. So I was in theater and choir, as you heard in the last episode, and my calling was to sing in the choir and perform for the choir and things like that. So that was my calling then, and my calling after high school, I would say right now, or when I first started working, was cleaning. I love to clean. I still love to clean, and I still do clean. But now I've prayed about it, and I will continue to pray about it. And I think that my calling is ministering through social media. I was actually cleaning today, and I was thinking about it, and I was texting someone about being a guest, and I was just like, I find so much joy in this right now, and I have so many ideas for this podcast and a potential YouTube channel that I feel like this is my calling for right now. Even if it reaches the potential of 40 listeners for the podcast, I think that this is my calling, honestly, and that would be great because I enjoy doing it. So those are some of my callings that I've found, and leading out of that is, or to piggyback off of that, is your calling isn't what you're destined to do forever. It's what you are called to do in that moment. So I spelt "you're" wrong. I didn't put an E. Okay. Very particular here. But what I mean by that is maybe when I get sorry. Someone just tried to come in my room, even though I put a sign on the door. I think it was my mom. I heard her say sorry. But so when I get married, my calling is most likely gonna be to be a wife and to grow that relationship. Or when I become a mom, my calling is to be a mom, or just whatever. Those are some examples. But your calling isn't going to be what you are doing forever. Like right now, my calling could be ministry, but it doesn't have to be through the podcast till the day I die, or through a YouTube channel till the day I die, or leading Bible studies. Like, I can do all of this stuff right now, and this is what I love to do right now, but that's probably going to change because, like, performing and singing. I love to do that in high school, but I don't know if I want to do that forever. I'd love to sing still. I would love to sing in like a praise team or something at a church, but I don't know if I want to do that right now because I like keeping that hobby a hobby and not a profession because I love to do it and I don't want to ruin that. So yeah, that's a different topic for a different day. So, I'm gonna read, or actually, hold on, let me say this point first. So, a good thing to do when you don't know your calling is to pray for trust and not clarity. Because God is going to give you clarity when He wants to and at the point of the timeline that He has predestined for you. But you have to pray for faith and trust in your heart that He will reveal it at some point in this waiting season. Just the first thing that comes to mind is Abraham and Sarah. He was destined to have this kid, this son, who will be the father of many nations, and yeah. So, but he waited until he was 100 years old, and then even after he had that son, when Sarah was like 80 or something, I think it was 70 or 80, God asked him to give the son as a sacrifice, and he still loved God so much and trusted God that he went up to that mountain and was prepared to do that. And God later then stopped him and was like, you have been, what's the word, credited righteousness because of your faithfulness towards me, God. So yeah, so I'm going to read Psalms 107:4, talking about finding your calling and searching in the right places and not searching for signs, but just waiting for your calling to be sent to you and for that passion to be sent to you. Psalms 107:4. Some wandered in desert wastelands, finding no way to a city where they could settle. So, yeah, so wandered in desert wastelands, finding no way to a city where they could settle. So that's kind of just like if you're looking for your calling and it's like obvious that you are looking in the wrong places, you are looking in dead zones. And you should be looking for your calling in places that obviously glorify God, but also if you're even having a thought of being like, is this right for me? It probably isn't. And if you think that, I don't know, you should just not look for your calling in the wrong places, in places that do not glorify God. So, yeah, God will show you when He wants to. So you just have to pray and be faithful to Him, even in these waiting seasons. So, a waiting season that I can give you an example of in my life is waiting for love. And I feel like a lot of teenage girls can relate to this. I just said pasta / spaghetti with pesto in it. Carbs. Anyways. Yeah. So a waiting season that I can think of is waiting for love. And again, a lot of teenage girls can probably relate to this, but just laying in bed at night and wishing that you hung out with, if you had a boyfriend, wishing that you just had one, to have someone that understands you and someone that you can talk with and will keep your secrets. Waiting for that, waiting for a good one, will take a long time, and it did for me. Speaking of, he just texted me, and he texted me again. I'm going to turn my ringer off now. So yeah, that took a lot of patience and waiting, and I'm not saying that I was good at having that patience, and that I trusted God the whole time, but you just have to be faithful and have trust in Him, just like Abraham did. So now I'm going to read another version about your calling. I keep putting my head down. So it is Ephesians 4:1. As a prisoner for the Lord, then I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. So, what I think of when I read this verse is the title of this Ephesians 4 is United in the Body of Christ. So our calling as Christians and believers and children of God is to, in everything that we do, make sure that it is glorifying to Him. I forgot what verse that is. It's in Proverbs or something. Let me do a quick search. I have an alarm. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. I don't know what verse it is. Corinthians 10:31. That's right. 1 Corinthians. Or 2nd. I don't know which one. You can search that later. But our calling, specifically as Christians, is to, whatever calling we have on earth, is to make sure it glorifies God. For example, with my singing, I would probably only do it in a praise team at a church, because singing secular music produces a false image of what I believe in, or like professionally singing secular music does that, creates a false image. But yeah, I also don't really feel passionate and into the music when it's secular music. And that's probably for a reason. Because I am called to glorify God in whatever I do. So this is going to be a short podcast, but that's okay. So my last point here is it's okay for your calling to change. So me personally, I hate change. It makes me mad and sad at the same time. So, yeah. So when, like, someone cancels plans with me, I just, like, get so mad. Or if, like, I have this trip planned and, like, it doesn't work out. Or if things just don't work out. Or, like, if my daily routine just changes, I just get mad. So that's something that I have personally struggled with, is my calling changing. Like, for example, graduating high school. Obviously, some things are going to change. As in, I have to work now fully for myself because I need a car. So my calling right now is to work and do, I believe my calling, I need to pray about it a little more, but do spread the gospel through social media in various platforms. Platforms? Yeah. So, yeah, that's my calling right now. I'm gonna do a little interaction here. So comment down below what your calling is. I think I'm gonna post this on my Instagram story. That's a great idea, actually. Comment down below what your calling is. And what you do to define your calling through Jesus Christ. And how you glorify Him through your calling. Okay. So, wow, it hasn't even been 20 minutes yet. I usually talk a lot longer, but I didn't have many points for today's episode. So, yeah. Comment down below your calling. Bloom where you are planted. Oh gosh, I just remembered. I was listening to a podcast earlier, and I found a verse about blooming. Okay, so it is Psalm 1:3. He is like a tree planted by the streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. Bloom where you are planted. This is great. So it's just like, don't give up, even if you are in a waiting season. So wherever you are, spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, no matter the circumstances. And whatever you do will prosper. Bloom where you are planted. Growing pains. Okay, today was fun. I love talking to you, y'all, you, whatever. Thank you for listening or watching, whatever platform you're on, YouTube, Spotify. I'm looking to come to Apple Podcasts soon, so tune in for that. I will see y'all next week. Bye. Here's a kiss. Love you.